somewhere in England, there is a woman doing almost every job that men do. They are doing loading on the railroads. They are stoking furnaces and minding machines in the factories. They are harvesting the crops on the farms. In the armed forces, women are operating predictors at anti-aircraft batteries. They are coding and ciphering and signaling. They are acting as instrument mechanics. They work long and hard. They are turning out more because they know the purpose of their work. Their husbands need the shells. They make, and they know it. They know, too, that on their work depends their children's world. These soldiers of democracy are carrying this load in defense of people's government everywhere. We in America will not forget Lincoln's phrase that nature gave women the heavy end of a log to lift and not so much strength to do it with. In America, we will want to carry our share of this load.
These women do not pretend to be heroines. They are the average women, the housewives, the office girls, the Kitty Foyles. They don't win medals. They don't expect glory. They only fight in their many ways for a peace that will bring back their men, their families, and their jobs, for the big freedom and the little happinesses that make life in their country good and worth fighting for. The women of Britain have always been good housekeepers, proud to care for their grandmother's silver and to keep their floors and windows shining. The English soil is old but healthy. Women have used it to make their country more beautiful. Now there's little time for gardening. Babies, military objectives from the bomb districts need care. Country women have taken strange, tired children into their homes. The bombings have brought them new families to raise, hard work, new problems, problems of food for one thing. But the baby's daily bread is not yet rationed. Neither is the love they get. Women who've always helped to run things in their towns, church socials and charities, now help to run canteens. They are members of the Women's Voluntary Services. They have established community feeding for school children who've moved from the cities. Every morning in some part of England, some families must start building their lives all over again. First, the children must have clothes. The women volunteers distribute them from the bundles you've sent from home. It doesn't matter much if a coat is too big, but a gas mask must fit. The mothers and teachers knew that if they weren't afraid of the masks, the children wouldn't be. The North Atlantic and the upper sky are always cold. So all women, farmers' wives and duchesses, knit and sew together. The women's guilds, just like those at home, no longer make pincushions or pillowcases to sell. With material you've sent them, they make nightshirts for hospitals, nurses' outfits, and uniforms. They used to hold their church bazaars in the village hall. Now the village hall is a stretcher station, and the girls who used to sell pincushions attend the surgeons in operating rooms. Soldiers can't fight, and factories can't hum on empty stomachs. So the girls who've always wanted to be outdoors and have never had an opportunity formed an army for raising foods. They are the land army. Some are manicurists, some are models, some are clerks. They work in their fawn-colored breeches and bright green sweaters in place of men who've gone into the fighting forces. Together with Britain's farmers, they are plowing up an additional 2 million acres of land this year. Getting up in freezing dawns, driving tractors, digging potatoes, harvesting the wheat. It's good, healthy work, no softy's job. Others get their exercise on the parade ground. They drive their ambulances wherever ambulances are needed. They repair engines and change tires. Some of them have gone to Africa to be dispatch riders. Nearly every woman in the country who can fly a plane is now in the navy blue uniform of the Air Transport Auxiliary. They ferry the planes from the factories to the RAF stations. The tricot and hat means a Wren officer, a member of the Women's Navy. And the RAF has its own women's auxiliary. One of their jobs is patching the silver silk of the barrage balloons and seeing that the patch is airtight. The women in khaki, the Auxiliary Territorial Service, have taken over dozens of technical jobs. At remote coastal stations, they work with the gun crews, measuring and charting by camera the flight of shells so that a minimum of their precious and expensive ammunition is wasted. But all this vast organization of women in uniform might as well be playing with paper dolls if it were not for the women of the factories. They are the armies of the lathe and the riveter. They forge the striking power into Britain's defense and offense. Not as glamorous as being an actress, nor as comfortable as being a stenographer, but more useful. They even mount the fittings and install the engines for the little power boats of the Navy. They work night and day in the places most coveted by Nazi bombers. They leave their acetylene welders to find that the bombs which missed their factories shattered their homes. But they get back to work on time and train for firefighting. They never know when this experience will stand them in good stead in protecting their own homes. To many women, the war brought time for civil defense jobs, as in first aid posts. Their daughters are driving ambulances, or in food and clothes trucks, they go out at dawn to help those whose homes have been blown down in the night. Here are bundles from America finding new owners in London's East End. With store windows crashing into gutters and a shortage of glass making smaller windows necessary, some girls have formed outdoor decorating squads. London women are growing food in Hyde Park. Right beside the Albert Memorial, in the center of the city, they are planting peas and beans. But London's fleets of snorting red buses lumbering up to their terminus at Victoria Station are changed. The Cockney bus conductors have vanished, and in their places, on the bouncing rear platforms, stand gray uniformed girls. This girl used to be a photographer's model. The subway guards are women too. Nearly 1 million people slept in the subways last winter. Vaudeville artists helped to entertain them during the evenings. Before bedtime, restaurant trains moved through the subways with women serving soup and sandwiches. With so many housewives working away from home, somebody had to do the cooking. So the Ministry of Food enlisted other women, opened 320 communal restaurants throughout the country. The kitchens are modern, the dining rooms attractive, the food plain but filling and cheap. Even after a full day, there's work to do when the sirens go. Women take their place in defense on the roofs, knowing that a bomb too near may blow them off. They take that risk. They may not be heroines, but they are great soldiers.